Recording in progress. Okay, we'll begin the kirtan now. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Kunja
गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा करुणामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। दंडवत करी कैला बहुविध स्तुति, दैन्य करी कहे निजा पूर्व दुर्मति। When he met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya fell down flat to offer him respects. After offering various prayers to him, he spoke of his previous bad disposition with great humility. So next day morning again, Sarva Bhattacharya went. What all happened? He was delivered. He showed his divinity. Mahaprabhu showed his divinity. And then what happened? He got Mahaprasad and he paid Dandavats. What else happened? Six sound forms. What else happened? That's all that happened. That's very strong. Okay, wonderful. And then next day he went again. His heart was melted and he shared um, his sinful nature, kind of bad disposition, previous bad disposition with great humility. And we discussed the song Bholiya Tumhare. Yes? Okay. Okay.
Bhakti sadhana shrestha sunite haila mana Prabhu Padesha Kaila Nama Sankirtana. When the Bhattacharya asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu which item is most important in the execution of devotional service, the Lord replied that the most important item was the chanting of the holy name of the Lord.
Bhakta sadhana shrestha sunnite haila mana. In bhakti sadhana, what is shrestha? Sunnite haila mana. And Mahaprabhu was very pleased. Prabhu Upadesha Kaila Nama Sankirtana. You chant the holy name. This is the most important.
এই শ্লোকের অর্থ सुनालिया करिया वस्तारा सुनी भट्टाचार्य मने हैला चमत्कारा. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very elaborately explained the Haradnama verse of the Brhan Navtiya Purana, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was struck with wonder to hear his explanation.
Who all know the Hare Nam Eva verse? Who all knows? 50-50. You must have heard, no? Samir Prabhu? Hare Nam Eva Kevala. Actually, he is having difficulty to see.
Yeah, pull them closer.
Half of them are not there actually.
They're done. Pull at least this part.
Or another option is you sit at some other location. Okay, you sit down, then we'll adjust.
Is it here? This will not come on the end.
Okay. So Harinama verse, you remember?
Yeah, we had, yeah.
Mataji?
We had.
Okay. Okay. Harshini Mataji. What does that mean?
Nam Sankirtan is the only way to get delivered. There is no other way to get delivered.
In this age of Kali. Yeah. And when Mahaprabhu explained this verse, Bhattacharya was struck with wonder to hear his explanation. Okay.
Gopinath Acharya reminded Swamira Bhattacharya, my dear Bhattacharya, what I was told to you has now taken place.
Now, who was Gopinath Acharya?
In son-in-law.
Yeah. So he was there, and what did he tell Sama Bhattacharya? I told you, right? I told you. Here there was an argument. I told you, right? Now it has happened. Now you have mercy. This is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what will we do if somebody says, if somebody try to make us devotee and we say I'm not interested, and then we reject them, and then suppose we become devotees, and somebody says I told you, right, you'll become devotee. What will we say? Thank you. Okay. Harshini.
तुम्ही महाभागवत आणि करता मधील कृपा पाहिल्यामुळे तुम्हाला समजून you are a first class devotee, whereas I am in the happiness of logical agreement. Because of your relationship with your Lord, the Lord has bestowed his benediction upon you.
I told you, right? तुम्ही महाभागवत है, हम तो अंधकार में. So see the true humility you see. He's very elderly, like son-in-law means very elderly, but he's taking such a humble position, right? Prabhu Kripa Kaila More Tomara Sam. Because of you, I have received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like heart melted. Sushumna Mata
So this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says to
spoke.
Gopinath.
Yeah. I have not kept all the verses, but just the essence. So the flow goes. But he takes a very humble position and he glorifies Gopinath Acharya.
विनयस्वी तुष्टे प्रभुकैव आनंदाने काहिला याना कराकार ईश्वरा. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased with this humble state. After embracing Bhattacharya, he said, now go see Lord Chaitanya in heaven.
Reflection.
First, he was not a devotee.
Huh? Who was not a devotee? Yes.
He got the permission from Prabhu to see him.
He got a permission from Mahaprabhu to see the Lord. Okay. More reflections?
Now,
Go ahead.
after he took humble position, he allowed his Mahaprabhu thought that now he is eligible to offer his worship to Jagannath.
Okay. That's one way to see it. More reflection?
Because of Lord Jagannath mess, so he changed, right? So I think initially
Mahaprabhu's mercy he changed. Okay. I mean, all are right. I'm looking for one point. He embraced. Tushtiye Prabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very satisfied. Tushta hoy man. Tushtiye Prabhu. He became very satisfied. So if we want to satisfy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what we have to do? Uh, See, when somebody says, "Na," he did not act on egoistic platform. He did not say that because of my karma I got it, or like he did not kind of defend himself, but he is telling to me, like if somebody puts you on the spot now, like then natural humility after मुश्किल हो जाता है कभी कभी. So we see here he took a very humble position, he glorified him. तो भी महाभागवत है आमी तो अंधकार. So Mahaprabhu became very pleased, and what Mahaprabhu did, immediately embraced him. So whenever we kind of put in a situation where this ego is our kind of obstructor in the path of progress, in the path of devotion. So when we put our ego aside and then take a humble position and do whatever Guru Sadhu Shastra says, in spite of अंदर से नहीं आ रहा है, still if we are do it, then Mahaprabhu became very pleased with that behavior. That's why Mahaprabhu said, you wear this verse like a string, Tina the piece on your chin. That's how you, like, nobody sees, nobody notices, but Krishna is noticing. You will receive appreciation through the ruchi in holy name. That's how Krishna reciprocates in our terms. Clear? Good?
Maybe I did not understand. Like embracing Bhattacharya, I understood. But now go see Lord Jagannath in the relationship is lacking.
Okay. So, Vinaya, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is telling, Vinaya Suni. Vinaya means Vinamrata, humbleness. Vinaya Suni, Tushke Mahaprabhu Kaila Alingana. So, as soon as he heard that him taking a humble statement, कि तुम्ही महाभागवत अमितो अंधकार, Mahaprabhu immediately became satisfied. Good. So as soon as he heard Vinay, the words of humility, Mahaprabhu became pleased. You understand?
I understood embracing Bhattacharya, but why he is giving to see the Lord Jagannath in the temple is a specific statement.
Oh, why now go see Lord Jagannath in the temple? Well, they go every now and then. I don't have anything specific on that. Yes, just the flow. Okay, she read, I think.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then compared two verses on the leaf of a palm tree, giving the palm leaf to Jagadananda Pandit, Jagannath Prabhu. The Bhattacharya requested him to deliver it to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Who is Jagadananda Pandit?
He was attempted.
Huh? He's.
He was along with Sisi.
Huh. And who is in Krishna Leela?
Satyabhama.
Satyabhama. You know Satyabhama?
Yeah.
Satyabhama. Rukmini and many others. Okay. So, you know who Satyabhama was?
Krishna married.
Satyabhama. And who is Satyabhama? Where is Satyabhama coming from? Which Ashtasakhi? माता जी चलिए कोई तो डाल दो अगर हिट हुआ तो हुआ नहीं तो कोई बात नहीं
Nice. Culture is an argument, right? And even Satyabhama is also like, so that's why
Satyabhama is actually Radharani. Radharani came as Satyabhama, and then because feeling of separation, so they joined again in Dwarka Leela. And um, Kalindi is Yamuna. And Lalita Devi, I'm forgetting her name. Among eight, there are eight main queens. They were actually Ashtasakhi.
So Rukmini,
Rukmini is Chandravalli. There is very mysterious pastimes of how it all ended up.
Luckily, they are not expensive.
Well, Chandravalli is expansion of Radharani. Everybody emanates from Radharani. But Chandravalli herself went as Rukmini. It is said that uh, these are mysterious pastimes. We cannot understand. A lot of questions are coming in the mind. Right? How is it possible? How is it possible? Rupa Goswami explains that. He says that Radharani, in fear of separation, she entered into Yamuna. So she went to sun god because Yamuna Devi is daughter of sun god. Like simultaneously Vishakha and daughter of sun god.
So Satyabhama is that
So
uh, whom he defeated that person.
yeah, uh, Satyajit.
Satyajit. So that Samanta Karsham
Uh,
story,
yeah,
right?
his
So
daughter.
his daughter. So
So when he prayed na, so sun god appeared to him. He gave him the Shamataka jewel
uh,
and he gave him Satyabhama, grown up elder girl. So she simultaneously appeared. All Ashtasakis are like that.
so she appeared at that time.
Sun god gave. Sun god, Radharani went to sun god na, so she came as Satyabhama. And simultaneously Radharani appeared again in Goloka. So they both exist simultaneously. Likewise, there is a story connecting Goloka to Dwarka Leela for all of them. There are passages. Good. Now you are getting all the sun.
No, it's okay.
Here, okay, fine. Okay, so um, um, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya composed two verses, and what he did, he gave the palm leaf to Jagadananda, and Jagadananda, and then he requested him to deliver to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Two verses. Then Mukunda was one of the one who was staying with Mahaprabhu. Like they were, four who came. One of them was Mukunda. Okay, Sushma Mata, you want to read?
Mukunda then copied the two verses on the wall outside there. After this, Jaganananda took the palm leaf that Mukunda Datta and delivered it to Lord Chaitanya.
Clear? He wrote it outside the wall and then gave that two verses to Mahaprabhu. Sarva Bhattacharya said, give this two leaves to Mahaprabhu. Then let's see what happens.
As soon as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu read the two verses, he immediately tore up the palm leaf. However, all the devotees read these verses on the outside wall, and they all kept them within their hearts. The verses read as follows.
Clear? So Mukunda was very intelligent. He knew as soon as Mahaprabhu will take, he will crush it. So he put it outside the wall, so wall cannot be crushed. And everybody would come and see those verses. This verse is very famous verse. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Anyone has heard this line? Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. शिक्षार्थम एका पुरुषा पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीराधारी कृपाम बुद्धिर्यस्तम अहम प्रपद्ये. Okay.
Let me take shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us real knowledge, his devotional service, and detachment from whatever does not foster Krishna consciousness. He has descended because he is an ocean of transcendental mercy. Let me surrender unto him his lotus feet.
Hmm. So aham prapadye is clear. I take shelter of him. Kripam buddhir means by his own mercy, kripa. Then Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari. So the Supreme Lord has come taking the taking the sharir of Shri Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga means he has come to teach
Real knowledge.
renunciation. Actually, Mahaprabhu would love renunciation. Anybody who is attached, na, Mahaprabhu would not like those persons. Mahaprabhu exhibited like, apparently Mahaprabhu became very pleased when somebody exhibited renunciation. Can you give some example? Mahaprabhu pleased with renunciation. Satan, what is that? Go ahead. His disappearance day is tomorrow.
The
Quilt.
quilt, yeah.
Where he got it from?
He got it from the radio.
He got it from his brother, cousin brother, while he was on the way.
And he was totally renouncing everything, but he was not giving up to take this quilt. And then finally one day his Sanatana Goswami realized that the quilt is not good for the renunciation, and he left, and then Mahaprabhu was very happy seeing this.
Mm. So he shiny silk, not silk, reshmi. Very nice quilt. So he came, Mahaprabhu hugged, and Mahaprabhu looking at his quilt. And then he's Alingan and he's very happy and looking at his quilt. Sadha Goswami understood. लगता है ये महाप्रभु को पसंद नहीं आया. But it was very new and shiny. So when he went to take bath, he saw a beggar. He had torn quilt he was washing. He said, "Can you give me the quilt? I will give this quilt to you." So beggar said, "Don't joke with me. Why will you give this? Such an expensive reshmi quilt. It's torn." He said, "No, really, take this." So he took. Then he went to Mahaprabhu. Then Mahaprabhu said, the last material attachment you had in your life, Krishna has taken away from you. This is Krishna's mercy." He was very pleased. Any more examples? Mahaprabhu really becoming pleased with Vairagya.
He himself has shown to some.
Oh, he has shown a lot of Vairagya. And one of the reason he didn't want to be with devotees, because they would put him on kind of, Jagannath will bring oil for massage and they would bring, and Mahaprabhu would not like all these things. So Mahaprabhu was like really, he wanted to exhibit Vairagya. Any other reason where he was very pleased with Vairagya? Raghunath Das Goswami. Where?
Eating the grains which are
Eaten by
not
cows.
even eatable by animals,
Huh.
it is taken with a natural that pronunciation.
Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He would beg. Then Mahaprabhu said, "Good, very happy." First, his father would send him money, and he would feed everybody and eat nicely also. Then Mahaprabhu said, "Okay." Mahaprabhu would not say anything. Mahaprabhu, he will not say anything to us. That you will see in Chaitanya, he would not say anything, but he will be pleased when you exhibit Vairagya. But he would not say. Raghunath Das Goswami, he did not say anything, but he would tell from within, "यहाँ प्रभु जी आपका बहुत attachment है." But then he will wait. So actually he would invite Mahaprabhu for prasadam in his home. Mahaprabhu would come and Mahaprabhu would eat. Long after Mahaprabhu will go through in discuss, but just relevant to Vairagya Vidya Bhakti Yoga. So then Mahaprabhu asked Sanatana Goswami, "Nowadays Raghunath Das is not inviting me for dinner. Is there everything is okay?" He said, "Yeah, because he stopped taking money from parents." Aha, very good. Then he would beg. After some time again, Mahaprabhu asked, so another thing is etiquette. Raghunath Das Goswami would never talk to Mahaprabhu. He always felt himself unqualified. He always approaches through uh,
Sanatana.
Saru Damodar Goswami. I said Sanatana Goswami earlier. Sorry, yeah, Saru Damodar Goswami. Then Mahaprabhu asked Saru Damodar Goswami, "How is Raghunath Das doing? No news." Oh, he stopped begging, and now if you go to Jagannath Puri, there is a bazaar called Anand Bazaar where you get a lot of prashadam, only prashadam, a lot of prashadam. That's why it's called Anand Bazaar. In Seattle, they have a festival. It's called Anand Bazaar. Lot of prashadam coming from Jagannath Puri, original. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, on the right hand side there is a big board, Anand Bazaar. If you go, there are hundreds of sellers, all varieties of Mahaprasadam you get. So not everybody get consumed. So they throw to cows. The cows eat everything. And cow saliva and other thing, some things are rotten, so cow reject it. So Raghunath Das Goswami would go in the middle of the night and take those portions rejected by the cows, and he would wash it and eat it. So then Sarvadamada Goswami told um, Mahaprabhu that he is eating rejected portion from cow's feed. And Mahaprabhu became, aha, Mahaprabhu became again pleased. Mahaprabhu became so pleased that he went to the home of um, Raghunath Das Goswami and he wanted to taste that food. So Mahaprabhu immediately went to his home and he went and he said, "Where is Mahaprashadam?" Raghunath Swami, "I don't have any Mahaprashadam." "Where is Mahaprashadam?" "I don't have any Mahaprashadam." So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting in the heart of every living entity. He went right at the corner in the hidden place where Mahaprashadam was kept and he took and started eating. Raghunath Swami became emotional. "My lord, this is not fit for you to be eaten." Mahaprabhu said, "I have never eaten such prasadam ever in my life." Why? Because it is said he was tasting the vairagya of Raghunath Das Goswami through that Mahaprasad. So Mahaprabhu would not say anything. But when he sees that, okay, now, we all have some weak corners. Yes? No. We all have weak corners. So attachments are there. Mahaprabhu knows the attachment. When we take a step now to kind of cut those attachments, then you will see more mercy. Mahaprabhu never allowed, like, kind of, he was never pleased with opposite of renunciation, which is sense gratification. So, uh, Sama Bhattacharya composed this was Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Sikshartam Eka Purusha Purana. He has come to teach this Siksha of Vairagya from. Otherwise, how can we go back to God? We have to cut all the. But we cannot cut all of a sudden because thoda strong attachment. So we had to take one thread. Okay, cut one thread. Now still then another thread cut, another thread cut. We have to slowly cut our threads of attachment to this material world. Okay, and nobody has to tell us what are the threads for us. We know. You don't know. So we all know where I get weak. So work on that. Take more step and then more and then more and then more and then more. Krishna will tolerate, Mahaprabhu will tolerate. We'll continue in devotional service. But slowly we gain more strength. Then you take little harder step, little harder step. Okay, and this is the second verse. Kala nashtam bhakti yogam nijam ya praduksh kartam Krishna Chaitanya nama avirbhutastasya padarvinde gadam gadam liyatam chitta bringo.
Let my consciousness, which is like an energy, take a shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has just now appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach the ancient system of devotional service to himself. This system has almost been lost due to the influence of time.
Hmm. Um, Let my consciousness flow towards the lotus feet of to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has come to teach the ancient system of devotional service to himself. So this again he is telling that he has come to teach about his own self, devotional service to himself. This system has almost been lost due to influence of time. Good, clear. So devotees love these verses of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Okay, what do we keep reading?
As Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he ordered us to surrender unto himself. But as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he taught us how to surrender to Krishna.
Good. What did Krishna say? Sarvat Mam Ekam Shanam Raja. And Mahaprabhu said, Mam Uska Shanam Raja. So he taught us.
Therefore, he speaks by the Goswami. Namo Mahabharanyaya Vishnu Prema Pradayante. The Lord Sri Krishna is certainly the personality of Godhead, but he is not as magnanimous as Sri Chaitanya.
So Prabhupada is writing that Shri Krishna is not as magnanimous as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why Mahavadanyaya is most merciful. Okay?
Lord Krishna simply gave orders for one to become his devotee, Manmana Madhya. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually taught the process of Krishna consciousness.
Good.
If one wants to become a devotee of Krishna, he must first take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following in the footsteps of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and other examples.
This is something for Prabhupada purport. Okay.
एकदिन साधन एक आर्य नमस्कार One day Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After offering obeisances, began to recite a verse.
How many of you know this verse? From Brahma's prayer. Is everything right in this verse? But it should be what it should be. Jivetayo mukti pade sadayo. Brahma ji praised in Srimad Bhagavatam कि one who what does that verse means in your own words?
Water will
In,
make it.
Okay.
in any circumstance,
Hmm.
like great difficulty, whoever humbles himself and gratefully accepts that, then he is only
And accepts that with heart, body, mind, and face obeisances to the Lord, even in difficult situation. For him, liberation is his birthright. So the word is Jivetayu Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak. Daya Bhak means his birthright. Mukti becomes his birthright. So Sarva Bhattacharya said, and he said, Tathe Nukampam Susamiksha Mano Jivetayu Bhakti Pade Sadaya Bhak. So Mahaprabhu was like, hmm, what are you talking? Okay, continue. Translation.
Bhattacharya replied, once you cease your compassion, you will fall into others' condition. Due to karma of his past lives, he engages always in the devotion service with his mind, words, and body, and he always offers obeisances unto you is certainly a bona fide candidate for becoming your unconverted.
So verse says is bona fide candidate for liberation. But here bona fide candidate for your unalloyed devotion. So his heart has changed. So he was always propagating mukti because he was an impersonalist. He hate the word mukti now. Whenever he sees mukti now, blah, blah. So he want to change the shastra also. So let's see Mahaprabhu's response on that.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately pointed out. In that verse, the word is Muktipade, but you have changed it to Bhaktipade. What is your intention?
Good.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, the awakening of pure love of Godhead, which is the result of devotional service, far surpasses liberation from material bondage. For 12 hours to devotional service, merging into the Brahman effulgence is a kind of punishment.
So what was the intention of Sarva Bhattacharya? What did he say? What is my intention?
Yes, love of Godhead surpasses
Far
liberation,
surpasses liberation. And what is liberation?
punishment.
If somebody gets mukti, it's punishment for them. So how can you use the word mukti? Clear? Yes.
Freedom is compulsory.
She's with Vedas. He's with Bhakti. So Mukti is right. Mahaprabhu will correct Sarvam Bhatt because scriptures there are no mistakes. But it's just the heart of Sarvam Bhattacharya, kind of. Because he had negative connotation of Mukti. So that's why he is eager to change the scriptures also. In Brahmanda Puran, it is said, Siddha lokastu tamasa para yatra vasantihi Siddha Brahma sukhe magna daitya cha harina hataha. So this is from Brahmanda Puran. Okay.
In Siddhaloka, Brahmaloka, there is life, two kinds of living entities. Those who are killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead due to their having been demons in their previous lives, and those who are very fond of enjoying the impersonal effulgences of the Lord.
So two kind of people in
Brahman.
Brahma or Brahma Jyoti Mukti. What are the two kinds of people?
Those who are killed by Supreme Personality of Godhead,
And
and who was enjoying the impersonal effulgences.
so those who are Mayavadis. I don't want to say Mayavadis, but Brahmavadis. And those who are demons. So Mahaprabhu, so Sarvabhattacharya intention is there is no difference between demons and Brahmavadis. They also attain Brahmavadi. Demons also attain. So it's punishment for devotees. Why to work so hard? Better become a demon and killed by Supreme Lord and get liberation there also. Clear?
In the Brahmaloka and Brahmajyoti are different.
They are different. They are different. Um, he, uh, but our understanding is correct. So let's not get confused with the words. Good.
So,
Yeah,
why only Krishna was given Brahmaloka?
yeah, because she rendered some service to Sri Krishna by feeding her milk. And Aghasura also rendered some service by playground. So he was also given a personal liberation. Service kind of gives us connection to love. Okay. So Sarva Bhattacharya is quoting that this is actually a punishment. It's like demoniac. So he's really hating this mukti concept. Okay.
Second, Bhattacharya continued. There are two kinds of Sayuchi merging into permanent bodies and merging into the personal body of the Lord. Merging into the Lord's body is even more abominable than merging into his effulgence. Yogis who follow the principles of Patanjali want to merge into the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. Being the greatest authority, the Supreme Lord can easily allow many millions of living entities to merge into his body.
Reflection. Never heard that before. Reflection.
Merge into body means will be difficult.
Yeah. So this is not clarified, but they want to merge into the body, and Prabhupada writes in the purport. This was new to me when I read it first time, because for me always merging into the body means Brahman, Brahman Jyoti. That's how I always think. But here Sarva Bhattacharya said two kind of Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti is hell for devotees. Sarva Bhattacharya said two kind of Sayujya Mukti. One who entered the effulgence, one who entered the body of the Lord. Entered the body of the Lord. Where do they go? No idea. I mean, if we see from speculation point of view, don't quote me, is that we are actually into Mahavishnu's body. During devastation, we enter into body and we come out from the body. So merging into body of the Lord is a bona fide concept from scriptures. But somebody who desire to merge into body of the Lord, I don't know. But definitely no spiritual word for that. Definitely. And Prabhupada says that those yogis who follow principles of Patanjali merge in a transcendental body. Being the greatest authority, Supreme Lord can easily allow many millions of living entities to merge into his body. So Prabhupada did not say beyond that. So that's the first thought I got, that okay, we are coming from the body of the Lord in a way, coming out from that. But how to understand, just accept it as it is. Good? That's my
What is
understanding.
significance of Patanjali?
Mataji, some people, have you heard about Patanjali Yoga Sutras? There was a, Anantashesh came as Patanjali. You heard about Patanjali?
Patanjali is a person.
Patanjali is a person. He wrote Yoga Sutras about yoga. So he, those who follow that yoga system, it's not a bona fide yoga system
It's
actually.
Ashtanga Yoga.
Well, Ashtanga Yoga is more bona fide. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is more impersonal. So we don't follow that. If you see in Ajamil pastime, Yamraj says Patanjali and Nyaya and they all don't know the real religious principles. He kind of criticizes them. Patanjali is one of them. It's coming in Bhagavatam that Yamraj criticizes him. But most of the people in America, yogis, they follow Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So they try to enter into the body of the Lord. Good? Good.
Thank you very much. So,
It is wrong.
Krishna killed the hundred times his cousin.
Shishupal.
Shishupal.
He killed, or he, after 100
100
offenses, yeah, he killed him. Yeah, okay.
So then there is a statement that the soul of Shishupal entered the body of
Yeah.
Krishna, right? So,
Where did he go?
yeah.
Well, Our understanding of that is Brahman effulgence. Our understanding. Um, Even it is said once you come to 10th canto Bhagavatam, Aghasur, his body also entered into. But we know he attained um, um, Vaikuntha Lokas. We know that Aghasur rendered some service of Acharya explained he attained Vaikuntha Lokas. So entering physically in front of demigods, entering into body of the Lord means something higher than from the scriptures. Uh, but I would not relate that is to here. Is it alright? Means entering means he can enter Brahma Jyoti, he can go to Vaikuntha Loka because both cases are there. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains in Aghasura reference, I was recently reading, that he allowed Aghasura to, he wanted Aghasura to enter because he wanted to show his mercy to demigods to show them about his supremacy. That's why he showed. But everybody entered into the Lord in one sense, but nobody could see. But some of them were seen. That's just like Krishna exhibiting his universal form so others could see. So when he wanted to exhibit his mercy, he allowed people to see the soul entering. But some cases he did not. But that's okay.
But what is the logic of like allowing demons to get liberated?
Yeah, well, Krishna is all merciful. That's how acharyas explain. So even Krishna killing and Krishna benedicting both are beneficial for the conditioned soul.
But then, what is then the result of their bad karma?
Yeah, it gets nullified, gone. Even if they are the biggest demons have done, because Krishna is all pure, the touch of Krishna, anybody in Mahabharata, God, this anybody who saw Krishna, they were liberated. So Krishna is all pure. It is said, our acharyas explain that even Vishnu does not have this quality. Even when demons are killed by Vishnu, they don't necessarily get liberation. But if they are killed by Krishna, for sure liberation at least. Only Krishna exhibit that quality alone. Even Lord Ram, none of his expansion give. Sometimes they give liberation, sometimes they don't.
So going back to Godhead is not called liberation.
Well, liberation is of five kinds, and you will answer that.
Uh, That is correct, but then go back to Godhead is not falling in that.
It's also in liberation. Going back to Godhead or Brahman effulgence or entering into body, they are all liberation. So the word mukti is perfect. It's just different people based on their desire they get that kind of mukti. But all this liberation are mentioned in scriptures. You get whatever you want. You want Brahmavadis, you have an option. You want to merge into Lord's effulgence, you have an option. So the condition is same, which is material disentanglement and seeing our own karma based on our material disentanglement. It's not a verse of pure devotion, but it's like blaming ourselves and not criticizing anything that happens in the world. So with that, you will get liberation. Which liberation you get based on your process?
But in that liberation stage, it is not necessary that we will be serving the Lord.
No, based on what you want. You want to serve the Lord, you serve the Lord. You don't want, you don't serve the Lord. Clear? Clear? So in that way, bhakti is perfect. Just how mukti is perfect. Just how you, what is your understanding of mukti? Okay, bhakti will come, um, anala devotion only when there is like a complete surrender to Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam, then you can use bhakti. Here, pure bhakti, it's not a pure bhakti verse, ek tarike se. It's just apne karma, all suffering you see as your karma, kind of. Okay, so who read?
Yeah. No, I did. प्रभु कहते मुक्ति कहते आय अट्ठा मुक्ति पदा शक्ति साक्षात ईश्वर Lord speeches to Mahaprabhu. The word Mukti Pada has another meaning. Mukti Pada directly refers to the Supreme Personality of God. All kinds of liberation exist under the feet of the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, he is known as Mukti Pada. Mukunda means giver of liberation.
So Mukunda means one who gives mukti. That's why one of his name is Mukti. So Mukti, Pada he will give mukti is perfect. No need to change it to bhakti. Good. All liberation comes under the word mukti. So let it be mukti. I mean, we know Shastras are never wrong. Vyasadeva is never wrong. It's just his heart. Okay.
मुक्ति शब्द कभी तो माने आया पूर्णता से भक्ति शब्द कभी तो माने आया तो the very sound of word bhakti immediately induces faith and fear. But when we say the word bhakti, we naturally feel transcendental bliss within the heart.
Do you all feel that? है ना? So, Sava Bhattacharya said, whatever, I don't like this one. And I had mukti, anxiety. Bhakti, yes, very good.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Shirisha Mataji, you have a question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, go ahead.
Like for uh, Brahman realization, that mukti and merging into, uh, I mean, like impersonal Brahma Jyotir and
Merging into
merging
the
into
body of the Lord.
supreme body of the Lord, both same, Prabhuji?
Both come under Sayujya Mukti.
Are both same, like
No, both
merging
are, well,
into different?
both are not same, Mataji. Um, um, Sarva Bhattacharya said there are two divisions in Sayujya Mukti, the word he used. And he said
Okay.
one is merging into effulgence, one is merging into. Uh, okay, I can try. But if there's no question, I'll just keep it like. Mataji, you can hear me better.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Clear.
I'm here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. कोई बात नहीं Prabhuji.
yeah, we
So,
can hear clearly, Prabhuji.
is this better to hear for you?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. For me, like both ways, same, Prabhuji, like whatever is good for you.
Well, Prabhupada did not give a clear. Mother, can you say something?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'm saying. चल रहा है. Prabhupada did not give a clear understanding of what it means when we say merge into the body of the Lord. But Sarva Bhattacharya clearly distinguished the two as these are two kinds of Sayojya Mukti. One is entering into Brahman, one is into Lord's body. Prabhupada only says he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has unlimited potencies and he can allow millions of living entities to enter his body. And that's where Prabhupada stopped. And so far from Prabhupada books, I never heard that reference anywhere else. So I myself don't have like a clear conception of that. But I can say they are two different kind of Sayujya Mukti. That's what I is that all right?
Okay, Prabhuji. So, like for other Sahajya Mukti, that like merging into not impersonal Brahma Jyotir, like merging into the um, Supreme, like that is like for impersonal, like they do stay in void and then after some point of the time they will come back for some lack of service.
Yes,
As
that's
per
a
our
good understanding.
understanding, that one you said before, Prabhuji, like that.
Yes,
And then
that's
like
a
for other one, what is the other one, Prabhuji? Like
okay. You mean entering into
other
Lord's
one also doesn't have service, right, Prabhuji?
okay. Well, I don't have details on the other one.
Oh, okay, okay.
You understood her question? In
Yes, yes.
one kind of Sajya Mukti, you go to Brahma Jyoti, you don't have service, you come back, and we understand the whole philosophy. That is fall down. What happens to other one? If you enter into body, you don't have service, what happens to them? Don't know, Mataji.
Oh, yeah.
That's my
Thank you,
answer.
Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Um. So for this chapter, we have last two verses, and then we can go to the next chapter. Maybe just we'll just introduce the next chapter and do South India tour. So we are starting with you. Okay.
दीन प्रभु आनंदित मने भट्टाचार्य कहला प्रभु रुद्रा आलिंगने. Upon hearing this explanation, the Lord began to laugh, and with great pleasure, immediately embraced Sadhguru Bhattacharya.
So we should really take all this when Mahaprabhu get great pleasure, because only through these we know what pleases Mahaprabhu. So he was really pleased when he said, Bhakti give me so much pleasure, Mukti gives me hatred and feeling. So Mahaprabhu became very pleased. Means Bhakti, he will be pleased. But anything like impersonal liberation, he becomes displeased. But the word Mukti is perfect though. It's just the way it has been interpreted. There are many conceptions. Good? Okay. Okay.
After this, and all the inhabitants of Jagannatha-puri, headed by Kasi Mishra, came to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord.
What incident? Uh, Sarma Bhattacharya was delivered. Everybody has Sarma Bhattacharya became a devotee. Then everybody, because he is the spiritual master, everybody started lining up. And one of them was headed by Kashi Mishra. And we will see Mahaprabhu stayed in the house of Kashi Mishra forever. But he was slowly, all these personalities will be introduced. So far, if you see Mahaprabhu's life, so far, just five, six people know Mahaprabhu, apparently. No Goswamis, Haridas Thakur, none of them is here. Even Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, nobody is there. Just these are there. And Nitai is there. But slowly, dynamics will change as we move on. This I can read. Shri Rupa Raghunath Padayara As Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishnadas. Praying as a lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Sanatan, always desiring their mercy, I Krishna's Nare Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. And now we begin with chapter number 6, correct? Or 7? Chapter 7. Okay, so the Lord begins his South India tour. Jaya Jaya Shri Gaura Chandra Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Charya, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. So far we heard about a lot about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Previous whole chapter was on Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Are we good with him? Okay. He will come more and more, but just and gives us an idea about his deliverance, his change of heart, and many things. It's your turn, right? Oh, okay. Sorry, bro. Go ahead. So there is a hint. Means I'm going to give you up now. Clear? I can give up my life, but giving you up is very difficult. If somebody comes and says you that you're so dear to me that to leave you is very difficult for me, you're like, why are you talking about that? Where is this question coming from? So we'll see. So they are very attentively hearing. What is Mahaprabhu going to say now? Okay, Mataji. Now this is very difficult for devotees. Who was Vishwarup? His elder brother. What happened to Vishwarup? He took sannyas. So he left. So now Mahaprabhu also took sannyas. So he said, I want to search for Vishwarup. I want to go to South India. But actually, Mahaprabhu knows Vishwarup has already died. So what is Mahaprabhu is doing? Mahaprabhu is doing chal kapat. He is lying. Mahaprabhu is lying. Yeah, Krishna also lied. So we'll see why. Clear? Okay.
Knowing everything, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was aware that Vishwarup was already passed away. A pretense of ignorance was necessary, however, so that he could go to South India and liberate people.
Why Mahaprabhu made the example of pretense, chal kapat? Why he exhibited it? Otherwise, they won't let him go. And Mahaprabhu cannot say, I want to go to South India to deliver everybody. Doesn't make sense. He came as a devotee. He's just hearing and chanting. So his intention is the whole, he has a purpose, he knows. But nobody else kind of. He just took sannyas because his own bhav in Vrindavan. But he want to spread and send everybody go back to Godhead. So he want to go to South to deliver the whole South India. It is said that Mahaprabhu exhibit more mercy in South India than even in Bengal. We'll see that everybody he delivered. So now how should he leave? He's in closest state of devotees. So what he said, please, भाई को ढूंढने जा रहा हूँ. Allow me to go. Okay. But I heard from senior devotees that we should not copy this from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should be very straightforward, huh? Because Mahaprabhu, uh, chal kapat. The word that is used here is Mahaprabhu did chal. We should not copy. Just like we cannot copy the activities of Shri Krishna, likewise we cannot copy some of the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why he did chal? Because his appearance is a chal. His appearance is as a devotee, although he's Supreme Lord. So he want to cover that. That itself is a chal. This is transcendental. So that you can do once you go there, not in this until. Here we should be straightforward. Good? Okay. Upon hearing this message from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees became very unhappy and remained silently sullen. So all of them became very sad. Arey, it's like life without soul. Nityananda Prabhu kahe aiche kaiche haya ekaki deve tumi ke iha sahaya. Aicha kaicha. How can you do this? Okay, good. Nityananda Prabhu then said, how is it possible to go alone? Who can tolerate this? Let one or two of us go with you. They may be whomever, who, whomever you like. Indeed, I know all the paths to the different places of pilgrimage in South India. Just order me, and I shall go with you. Clear? But he doesn't want to take anybody with him. He want to go alone. So now Mahaprabhu says why he want to go alone. So this I can read. There are many things. After accepting the sannyas order, I decided to go to Vrindavan, but you took me instead to the house of Advaitacharya. You broke my sannyas staff also. So you are out. Then Jagadananda wants me to enjoy bodily sense gratification. Out of fear, I do whatever he tells me. Otherwise, he would fast for 3 days. So I cannot take him. He would come, say, this is sandalwood oil for you. Mahaprabhu says, offer to Jagannath. Offer Jagannath pot. He broke the pot and he fasted for 3 days. Mahaprabhu said, oh no, what should I do? So it's creating a lot of pressure for Mahaprabhu to have his associates. Mukunda became very unhappy when he sees me, my severe austerities like lying on ground taking cold shower. So he just says, "Take a bed, my lord, and here's a warm water for you." So Mahaprabhu, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. He wants to exhibit renunciation, but devotees don't let him exhibit renunciation. They give him all sort of sense gratification. Big feast, Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad, I don't want this. No, you have to eat. All right. So Mahaprasad is like servant of all the devotees. They all give him lot of sense gratification. And Mahaprabhu said, I really want to be myself. What I came to taste. I want to taste Vairagya. So if any one of you come with me, then you will always kind of give me advices. So I don't want any one of you. Good. Although I am in renounced order of life, Damodar is a brahmachari. He still keeps a stick in his hand just to educate me in social custom. You remember we discussed here the story of Damodar. Mahaprabhu was playing with a child whose mother was a widow and very beautiful. Remember? So he said, it will come. It's all from Chaitanya Charitamrita. But at this point of time, Mahaprabhu is like, um, um, he teaches me social custom. He is a brahmachari, I am a sannyasi. Prabhupada said this is an offense. Prabhupada is sannyasi and his disciple will give him advices. Prabhupada, this is an offense. A brahmachari should not instruct a sannyasi. So Mahaprabhu says, Damodar is a brahmachari and he instructs me. So I don't want to take him. I know that all of you have great affection for me, but such things disturb my activities. You should all therefore remain here in Arachal while I'll tour sacred places alone. Clear? Mahaprabhu's reason. Now, can someone give a purport on this? And we will see purport from Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. Was Mahaprabhu really angry? No. So, why is he finding fault in devotees? Is he finding fault in devotees? He's not finding fault in devotees? Apparently. Huh. So, what is Mahaprabhu's mood? Is it clear? He's actually finding fault in devotees एक तरीके से. Nitai treated me like this. That's what he's telling. He kind of misguided me. If we think a devotee misguided me, we'll have a reaction. It's a fault finding. But Mahaprabhu is also telling. He misguided me. He puts me on a bodily platform. He instructs me. He's a brahmachari and he instructs me. So you see, there is clear words of fault finding. Because Mahaprabhu is controlled by love. Is controlled by love. So this is devotees' love. They cannot see Mahaprabhu in this. Sannyas is all external. I mean, this Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Rasaraj, always enjoying. So that breaks their heart. Okay, Samir.
Prabhuji,
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Shirisha Mataji. One second.
Prabhuji,
Go
like
ahead, Mataji.
fault finding and offensing, like is depends on bow, Prabhuji. Like suppose if we want to correct or anything, like not exactly looking for to show like something like is that uh, makes any difference, Prabhuji, like that will come as fault finding only.
Yeah. So is your question fault finding wrong? Is this your question?
No, Prabhuji, like there will be, yeah, totally like fault finding is same for everything, or if we our intention is not exactly to prove that they are wrong, but the intention is to help them to understand. Then, like, is that comes as a fault finding, Prabhuji?
Yeah, that is not wrong, Mataji. If your intention is to help them, then that is discrimination. Discrimination is good. You see, if somebody is doing kind of not favorable or not doing something that the way it should be done, and if you correct them, then it's not considered fault finding. Fault finding is actually when there is envy in the heart, then the fault finding is detrimental. But when the intention is to help, then it's not considered fault finding. Is that good, Srisha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Even for offense,
Okay.
Prabhuji, like suppose like maybe like between two devotees, suppose like say I can say an example for me and my daughter. So me, I try to help correcting, and then like if other person feels that like that's their touching ego or something like is that comes as offense or um, how that helps to, I would like to
Okay, this is
understand
a
it a little
very
bit.
wonderful question. You heard the question? If I, her question is, if I um, say something and it hurts their ego, but I'm saying the right thing, but it hurts their ego, but I actually want to help them, is that considered an offense? What is the answer? What is the answer? अभी तक तो एक्सपीरियंस मिल चुका होगा ना प्रभु जी इतने साल हो गए इत, हाँ, get affected. Okay, okay, great realization. And it boils down to if the other person is hurt. That's what it boils down to. Yeah. Now, um, mostly it is true, bro. What you are saying, mostly it is true. Mostly. But if, um, okay, if it's not, say, guru, yes, I agree. But if it is like somebody says who may be senior to us, and if they have a ulterior motive, any motive other than just to help the person, they have ulterior motive. Huh. Then the reaction will be there. Person. Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. When it comes to children, I agree. Prabhupada have an instruction that we should strict them. They should be trained. So, okay, great. When it comes to a devotee, our affection is not pure. With respect to parents, our affection is relatively pure. Like Krishna says to the gopis, we were discussing last Sunday, that there are three kind of people in this world. One kind whose affection is motivated, selfish affection. It was, I think we call it reciprocation of affection. Then second kind of people Krishna says to the gopis are those whose affection is unmotivated. Unmotivated. And unmotivated affection, two kind of people lie in that category. One is parents, one is sadhus. Parents' unmotivated affection is only for their children, but sadhus' unmotivated affection is for everyone. And then there is multiple kind of ingrates and guru drohi, offenders of gurus, and there are many things Krishna says of different kinds of relationship. Krishna speaks in one of the chapter of Ras Panchadhyay. uh, so why did I mention that? Parents, because affection is pure, you may not get a reaction. But if normal dealing, if somebody feels bad or their ego is hurt, most of the time my realization we get a reaction. I think you nodded your head also. That's my, if even if we hurt anybody, we get a reaction. Even if our intention is good, but Mataji, my realization, our intention is mostly mixed. It is apparently good. It is our own discomfort in our mind. When we are thinking of our own discomfort, na, then there is our own ego acting there also. It's not purely for the benefit of other, but it's like somebody did something and we didn't like it, and we know that it is a wrong thing to do. But when we say it, there is one part it's a wrong thing to do, there is another part because I didn't like it. Did I make sense? So mostly because it's our consciousness, it speaks to our words. And because our intent, we are not pure devotees ourselves, our personal discomfort is there in that instruction, we get a reaction. मैंने कहा आपका easy है bro जी, complex तो है. So even if the intention is there good, it is always mixed intention. If we do with the intention I really want to harm that person, तब तो beat back ही जाएगा. तो निताय गौर हरि बोल. But if intention is mostly pure, then only chanting will suffer. Is it clear? Are you all agree? You have a question?
Prabhuji, you said like intention is pure, like
Okay.
chanting affects.
Okay. Shrisha Mataji, first we'll take your question. What is your question?
Yeah, I did not hear last properly, Prabhuji. If intention is good, still like it affects chanting. You mentioned, Prabhuji, is that right? Whatever I
Yes,
heard.
because when
Okay.
we say, I mean, parents, I'm ruling out the option in most cases because affection is mostly pure. Mostly. Still, Prabhupada said it's as close to love of Godhead, but love of Godhead is completely transcendental. But when our intention is good, mostly it is mixed because there is like uh, I am discomforted by I don't like things in this way. So there is a I and my there.
Along with intention, and then our own ego also adds. Like I understand, Prabhuji, like exactly.
Okay, two voices are coming. I'll address and then I'll come back to you. Mataji, yes, you are right. So she said, along with our intention, our own ego is coming. That is true. But the nature of ego is, I'm right. My intention is pure. That words are also coming by our ego.
Mm.
Doesn't make sense. I am
Yes.
pure is also coming from my ego. So it's very difficult to really see ourselves. But we see it in our chanting. कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुआ, कहीं तो नॉइज नहीं हुआ. That's why it becomes very difficult. Actually, when we are staying in close association of devotees or regularly interacting with devotees, there is a lot of chances of this. It's there. But then devotees itself, that association will purify you. That association will kind of, otherwise nobody is here to kind of tell us. When we suffer now, we actually go deep and see where we are making mistake. Problem not half solved. If problem doesn't even know, then it will take very long time to consciously make effort to overcome that thing. But it's mixed. Okay, Mataji will come to you. Okay. Um, if you are telling the right thing,
Prabhuji, like we cannot hear the question.
you
Can
are
you please repeat the
completing
question?
10 seconds.
No, Prabhuji, like that question, I did not hear, Prabhuji. Like I would like
Okay,
to
I'll
know the
repeat the
question
question.
and answer.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
No, no, please. I just the thing is now you cannot hear them, they cannot hear you. So I am hearing both. So I'm trying to handle one information at one point of time. That's why uh, I want to address both. Now, Shishamati, thank you for pointing out. Uh, Mataji's question is if we are preaching and if we are telling the right thing and if they are hard, will it still have a reaction? Is that correct? Is that your question? Okay. Now, my experience, again, our intention goes back to our intention. If we want to, I'll give you one example. I was staying in Grand Rapids. So somebody invited me that they have some, one youth university student coming to see him, and Prabhu, please come and speak to him. So I went to their home. I was speaking to that youth, and he was kind of atheist believer, kind of really difficult person. And that time I was kind of not mature in giving Krishna consciousness. So kind of I was very attached that whoever I meet should accept Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, start chanting Hare Krishna tomorrow. So that was kind of my understanding. Like, there's nothing else. Why are you wasting your time? So I was like, you have to accept it. He's like, no, I don't accept Bhagavad Gita. I'm like, oh no, if it doesn't, what will I speak now? वो basically उन्होंने खत्म कर दिया. I don't accept any Vedic scriptures. No, I have to go some other route. So kind of we had a discussion, but then I suffered in my chanting for 1 week. Now if somebody says, Prabhuji, what was your intention? My intention was to give him Krishna. But was it pure? No, it was not pure. There was an intention within me, an ego within me also, which is like, anything you say, my purpose is to defeat. Now the defeat is actually based on Shastra, but it is mixed with my ego. So it's very difficult to discriminate, because the ego says, you are right, this is Prabhupada mission, Prabhupada said heavy. So you see, everything is mixed and we cannot see. But we see it when we chant Hare Krishna. Suddenly. What did I do yesterday? Full time Krishna service only. Still there is so much suffering today morning. So that's a training. That's a training. Become more, 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 more. Now it's like somebody says, Prabhuji, demigod worship, this is what I want to do. Okay, just keep coming for classes. So somehow I try to satisfy their ego, but I try to maintain touch with them. Now, what happens now? Like, somebody gives an example. Um, Operation successful, patient died. You heard that? So kind of, yeah, you did the heart surgery, and you're like everything, खोला अच्छे से, repair अच्छे से हुआ, close, great, but the patient died. So it's like you did the operation, means you spoke the right philosophy, everything, but what is the result? These people, I don't like these people, so they go away from Krishna. So our reaction will be, after our conversation, is the person more encouraged to associate with devotees, to read Bhagavad Gita, to hear Kirtan, or is he becoming more envious against devotees and ISKCON? That will be the right. Is he coming closer to Krishna? Is he going away from Krishna? And I tell you what, when we speak out of ego, our ego will go and hit the person. Our ego will hit the person. Especially when we are giving classes, and if we have some motivation towards somebody, if I want to target somebody in a class, because that person is doing something that I want to target, and I speak very heavy on that topic, then my ego will go and hit that person, because I don't have the purity of purpose. My purpose is like तो क्या होता है, हमारे साथ ही होता है बस. Same reaction come back to us. So it all depends upon first of all, when we are giving classes, because many of you are giving classes also, or have reading clubs, many of you are cultivating people, never target a person. You have to say something one on one, that's it. Never target a person in class, no. um, um, that's like um, that that person ego will be hurt, and then you will आपका आप ही को नुकसान होगा. Now, did I answer your question? So pure devotees don't have ego, so they are free to act in any way they like. Everything is pure love. पर हमारे साथ तो है नहीं, so we have to be careful. Yeah, we should speak. But then, yeah, that's okay. Then we are actually not targeting their, we're not targeting them. We are speaking philosophy. But if you know something and if you really target them, it will have a reaction. It all depends upon, somehow if you speak such philosophy, then kind of pacify that, because you know this is an obstruction. Suppose you cannot speak one on one, you have to speak, then you speak. But after that, kind of मलहम लगाना, चोट लगते है मलहम लगाते हैं ना, अगर वो लगा दिया आपने कल सुबह आने से पहले, थोड़ा with sweet words, with loving exchange, you are good. That's art. Good. So sometimes we have to say, sometimes, but just, is, are we good? Is he good? Good. Yeah, go ahead. When we correct chintan,
children.
correct children. Okay, okay.
So it's not on spiritual platform, it's on material platform. So what what is this? How that this theory works? Because this is mostly related to spiritual, about spiritual aspects.
Hmm. Well, highly inexperienced. So, when it comes to devotees, I have a lot of realizations. When it comes to dealing with children, I don't know what happened next day morning. Probably you have some realizations on that.
So if they are hurt, then reaction will come.
Well, your Japa will tell you what. Many things Divya Prakashita. Many things. But specifically on this, if we heard and they are heard on a material platform, does it have a spiritual effect? Uh, Go ahead. One of you or both of you will speak. They will have their own realizations. You have your own realization. Let's see if we can come to a conclusion. Okay. The message. Yeah. Okay, that's great. If they are not hurt, if the ego is not hurt, certainly you will not have a reaction. Even if you correct them a lot, like Samir Prabhu made a point. If they take it, then no reaction. If they don't feel bad, na, usually what happens is senior devotee says, na, they don't feel bad because there is a respect. So they don't feel bad. So if they don't feel bad, good. But if they feel bad, I don't know. Huh? Reaction is there. Uh, I see that. Well, Mataji, I would say maybe we can reconsider how we are saying. If she's always feeling bad, maybe you try something unique. Maybe consult with others, or maybe it's a good step to take if she always feels bad. Now, if you say, those who have an experience, if you say and she becomes angry, she a harsh word, do you see a reaction next day or not yet? So many things happen. So we don't know. कहाँ से आ रहा है? Everyone. Yeah, yeah. So we don't cause a reaction. Okay. In general, if you hurt a person, I have experienced there is a reaction. There is a reaction. Kids, you have to train them. Prabhupada said you fake anger. These are Prabhupada words. He said you have to train them. He said you don't beat them. Uh, Not an expert in the subject matter. Haven't realized on that. You probably, I would say, ask some senior Matajis you are in touch with, who are practicing for many years and who have some experience. You go to them and say, does it have an effect on our Krishna consciousness? Ultimately, we have to safeguard our Krishna consciousness. If something is affecting, then asking question on those respect is really important. But I have really seen husband wife have difficulties, there is a reaction. This I have not realized it, but but for sure there is a spiritual difficulty when husband wife have relationship problem.
But I'm living with, sometimes I try to correct my kids, then sometimes they feel
Bad.
bad. Afterwards, I feel guilty whether I should have told them or no. I kind of keep on thinking that I should not get reaction because of this. But then I feel that if I don't correct, then
Yeah,
how I can
wonderful. Well,
because it is indirect.
yeah, something that has,
If
wow,
I don't correct them and if I leave it
yeah,
like that, then
we have to correct.
let them uh, learn lesson on themselves. That is one option. But I don't.
Yeah, Prabhupada did not recommend that option anywhere. Prabhupada didn't say, don't say anything to the children. I have never heard that. Prabhupada always said, no, you have to say. Now, something I can say, like for a spiritual master, disciples are like children. So, something personal story, Yugal Kishore Prabhu told me, he stayed for 1 year in Chapati. So, His Holiness Sadhana Swami Maharaj in Chapati, many times if devotees do something wrong, he would correct them. After correcting them, he would go to them after 2 hours and he would say, Prabhu, if I said anything wrong, please forgive me. So Yugal Kishore Prabhu said, Guru Maharaj, for no reason, multiple time will keep on begging forgiveness. Even if nobody feel bad, he keep on begging forgiveness. Means, I would say very careful. Because if you are leading organization, lot of reaction are bound to come. Why? Because many people will be
Sometimes
displeased.
I give forgiveness afterwards. They feel that like at that time you are satisfying your egoistic
Anger.
desires, anger, and then later on you are just saying sorry. So it don't have any. It's difficult to judge how to act in that situation. But I feel that reaction comes, but how to come out of that.
Maybe a different way to communicate.
But that it is not possible to control that reaction.
Now, okay, now there actually there is a fault. If you are not able to control, if you are out of control, so then reaction will come, Mataji.
Well, that is maybe because of love, but somehow maybe
Yeah, there is,
egoistic
yeah,
feeling.
that's
That's
mixed.
what I feel.
Yes, because when Prabhupada said, you have full control over your anger. You use it to the extent how much ever. Um, so that is a good situation is. But if the situation is I am not in control, but the anger is more in control, then there is a responsibility on us also.
Anger is also like because I want to correct that person is not understanding, but somehow I am maybe overreacting
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So there
That's
is
why for
mixed. That's what we our discussion is. Intentions are mostly not pure. So we have to work on ourselves. We have to work on them also. But then we have to work two ways. Is this? Yeah. I mean, uh, will change. Yeah.
maybe so many difficulties.
I have seen devotees who are very kind of um, straightforward in speaking, and if they are very quick to kind of correct, they face lot of difficulty in their spiritual life. Today I was hearing a lecture by Madhananda Prabhu, and he said, criticizing is the job of Guru. Don't try to take his position. Something like this he says. Like he said, fault finding, criticizing is job of a Guru. Don't try to take his position. And he's a lecture on this. So basically, like, um, uh, yeah,
Sometimes I afraid if I speak very mildly, it won't affect. So some you have to be
Yeah, if you become harsh, yeah. See, Mata, the thing is, um, there is a voice, there are two voices within us. One voice is our own guilt voice, one voice is our right voice. So we have to work on our guilt voice. We have to work on that one voice because family, I mean, things will at some point of time, children will go out somewhere and things will move on. I mean, at one point of time, it's between you and Krishna, and it's your goal that you want to go back to God. So, independent, you have to take care of the situation nicely, but you have to constantly work on yourself, pave your path back home, back to God. You act in such a way that you go back home, back to God. And when your personal purity will exhibit more and more, everything will start naturally working also. And one thing which may help is before you speak anything, before you say, you pray to Krishna, my Lord, please give me strength. Please let me use the right words. So if I have to handle a difficult situation, before I jump into situation, I pray to Krishna that my Lord, please guide my intellect. Please help me. When that is there now, and if possibly, I have seen it really works. If you can somehow try that when you are actually scolding, if internally you are taking shelter of Krishna, my Lord, please help me here, please help me here, please help me here, you will see no reaction because it's like you're taking shelter of Krishna. Most of the times, what happens, Krishna goes away, and then we are by ours. But if you can keep hold Krishna there with you, especially in a difficult time, you will see, because Krishna is sitting in their heart also, everything will start kind of working out miraculously. Why? Krishna is sitting in their heart, and Krishna will inspire them by telling, yes, you are wrong. They will be able to see their own faults because you are taking shelter of Krishna. And when once they're inspired within, they have to accept it. They may act out of ego, but then the reaction will come back to them. We don't want reaction to come to them, but later on, the point is communicated, and then if it's communicated, they may not accept it, but then they'll work on it because it's communicated. If they don't accept, it will not have any benefit unless the Lord helps them to understand their mistake. You keep on telling for 10 years, they won't change. They will change only when they realize I need to change. Till the time, they won't change. That realization have to come from within them. That will come if you take shelter of Krishna and through Paramatma connection. If you work, that's how gurus correct. It's not on a physical level, but they correct for material disease also. Mostly material disease. Spiritually, everybody knows the philosophy. Mostly it's material disease only that you have to correct. Is that all right? Good. Okay. Shisha Mataji, are you good?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Wonderful. So let's stop here. It's 8:52, and then we begin from here. Okay. Uh, Sunil Prabhu, Gayatri Mataji, Narendra Prabhu, Nilima Mataji, Vamsi Vilas Prabhu, Lakshmi Sundari Mataji, Shrisha Mataji, Ramya Mataji. Thank you very much. My obeisances to all of you. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
धन्यवाद, प्रणाम.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.